in the modification of being a person. So it's always trading. Look at me, I've done good, why don't you accept me? I'm very nice, I'm very tidy, why don't you respect me? You understand? So in a sense, a lot of energy is going in your profile, just in your projection, and you're saying to the world, you're advertising yourself. Look, 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 I'm beautiful, I'm clean, I've studied hard, and still nobody appreciates, or something like this. So all these things you begin to look at, and what is happening now, as through your own satsang, something is being stirred up. And all these things which were dormant, but not dead, because they were still siphoning off energy from you. You go to a certain extent and you can't go further. Because what? You don't feel you're worth it. These type of things. So this is the effect of conditioning. Now, that's one thing said. Is there something good about the negative conditioning of a human being? From a spiritual standpoint, I say yes. Yes. Because by going through these difficulties, it develops a deeper stamina, more empathy and understanding with other beings also, keeps us a little bit humble. All of these things, they have something about them as well. Because if you could be a beautiful human being, everybody loves you, whatever you want you get, all these things, there'll be no aspiration to go beyond this, to go deeper, to realize the truth. There would not be. I wonder if we see this thing. The only thing is, don't get stuck into the human mold. That's the only thing. Because some people all the time, they're still say, come out of that. Come out of it. At least you can come to the place of being the witness of this thing. And it's only when you begin to really come to the place where you can begin to somehow observe even the personality with some distance, with some detachment, then you are really, I would say, a candidate for freedom. Until then, you're still just concerned with therapy, with how I can become a better person, how I can get over being shy. Why is it that whenever I've got a boyfriend, somehow I get very clingy, or whatever it is? And that will always be just your ambition, is only how I can be a better person. Well, you're not ready for satsang yet. Satsang is when something inside begin to respond to, wait a minute, but these things I can observe. I can observe the idea that these are just idea I have of what I am. But actually what I am, I cannot see. But what I can see is not absolutely what I am. It is connected, but it is only an object. It's only a phenomenon, and it is being watched. Where is this place from where it's watched? Can that be more truly my nature? Or is my nature only alive in my mind as a person? These are the things, the questions that begin to happen. When these questions begins to rub like two dry sticks, they may produce a spark somehow. And in that spark you begin to come to an insight into the fact that you are not just flesh and blood and personality. That not just an idea only, but you begin to experience. And if you are fortunate enough to have one who can guide you through this, through that very important transition, then already auspiciousness is showing itself, grace is showing itself in your life, to this. As soon as it is clear for you, through the process, especially of inquiry, like this for now, where you've looked and something keeps scooping back and looking for deeper places inside from there. Now what is in front, not just as images, but also with feeling and understanding, is that the idea I have of who I am, I used to feel is what I am. Now I saw that it is an idea, it's a conditioning, it seems to be somehow flowing in my veins, this belief is something, but there is an awareness that reveals that that must be a phenomenon because it is watchable, it's watched. So immediately we go into the position of the source seeing and find that from this place there is not a person here. There's more space there. It's not a doing place. It's more space of being. Within this space, the movement of what we call sensations of life and so on is taking place, and there is some pull to identify with some aspects of what comes, but with more practice of keeping the attention only into the place of seeing, there's less drifting off with the traffic as they pass, and at some point one keeps just being here in spite of whatever is happening. Okay? When the attention seems to rest and be comfortable and stable inside the seeing space, the effect of the traffic, the narration, the narrating of the traffic, the commentary about what kind of traffic is happening and so on, all of that is cooling down. Okay? As the attention stays inside in the place of the seeing only, the attractiveness of the game is getting also weak. Some things are falling away without our direct noticing also. They feel more space. There's more joy, there's more sense of presence felt here. And that self-acknowledgement is developing into a self-love and a self-appreciation. When that self-appreciation is here, it is replacing the attraction for the moving phenomena, which is the projection of the mind, of the egoic mind. When less interest is being put towards the egoic manifestation, they are being erased from the memory of the consciousness. They are losing, their footprints are vanishing inside. When we look, because we are not trying to suppress or control the senses, we let the senses be there, functioning in their natural laws. But the seeing is now resting in its own, its self-aware seeing. And all the phenomena that goes as happening now, the seeing itself loses a reactionary nature, because in the beginning we're observing what was happening and okay, this is going on, so on, so on, so on. And we were in a very vulnerable place in the seeing, because sometimes we got pulled into the seeing on some things which seem very, very spicy and juicy and personal. But with continued meditation, contemplation, reflecting, inquiring, the attention has learned to stay and marinate into the presence, to stay with the presence. When attention and presence become one, the world that is moving outside seems just to take on the fragrance of that unity. It does not work that one says, yes, I am just observing all of that, but it keeps being there after 2 years. I said, that is not true. Is you are not staying here with your attention. You're dividing the attention because maybe there's something in the manifest play that you're still attracted to, you meaning the consciousness that is identified with conditioning, functioning as an independent entity, is still interested in some part of its projection. You see? And that's why it keeps on appearing, because it can only appear by drawing energy from your identity or your interest or belief. That is what energizes the projection. If those powers are retained inside the seeing space, then all the weeds of the mind, they die. And only peace is prevailing.